Welcome to coverage of the 2015 PIHL Penguins Cup playoffs, only here on the Management Science Associates Sports Network. The high school hockey playoffs at MSAsports.net are sponsored in part by the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena, by Blade Runners, by S-Mark, by First Commonwealth Bank, by Carlow University, by UPMC Sports Medicine, by ProGrass, and by Management Science Associates.
High above the ice at CONSOL Energy Center, it's time for the PIHL Penguins Cup AAA Championship game right here exclusively on the MSA Sports Network. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Adam Hoerner, I'm Josh Rowntree here from the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins, CONSOL Energy Center. Tonight, the number 4 seed Canon-McMcIllan Big Macs 16-7-1 on the year take on the Butler Golden Tornado 13-8-3. The Cinderella of this tournament here in AAA. Butler skating for the first time ever tonight for a Penguins Cup championship. Canon-Mac trying to win their second in school history and first since 2010. Adam, it's been a very fun year of high school hockey here in Western PA. And really, we talked all year about the depth of this classification in AAA, and really, as the season went on, it looked like Peters Township and North Allegheny were becoming the 1 and 2 top teams, the two favorites. However, both of them go down in semi-stunning ways in the semifinals, and now you have a very talented Canon-McMcIllan team led by a very high-scoring offense and a lot of skilled players against a team that is probably as good in net as anybody else, with Clay Bachman leading the way for Butler.
Yeah, and he absolutely shut down the Peters Township Indians in the semifinals, a 3-1 win for the Golden Tornado. It wasn't shocking that they won. I guess it was just a big credit to Butler. They beat Peters at their own game. We had Austin Tonkovich on our show Thursday night. He himself said he was shocked by the blowout result against North Allegheny in the semifinals.
Let's turn it over to the national anthem playing here at CONSOL. National anthem from CONSOL Energy Center. Butler, Canon-Mac here on the MSA Sports Network. One champion has been crowned so far here tonight. That would be for the first time since 1997, the Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers. They took down a very game Armstrong team just moments ago by a final score of 4-2 in the AA championship. AAA now, they put the largest classification in the middle. Single A will be next. Old rivals Quaker Valley and Mars will have added that game scheduled to start somewhere around 9:30.
Now, you look at this one, Josh, and you're right, we talked all year, and really the last year or two, about how much deeper from 1 to 8, 1 through 10 even AAA has become. But at the top, AAA's been deep. The last team to win repeat championships in AAA was Bethel Park, a three-peat from 2000 to 2002. Since then, a different champion every year, and I believe you pointed out the last 7 years, there has not been a team to win the Cup more than once.
Yeah.
So it's really been fun, and we're going to get a different. Now, Canon-Mac won it in 2010. Butler's never done it. So Butler wins. That definitely keeps a different champion over the last 7 years intact. And regardless, you're going to see a new champion tonight versus what you had last year, obviously, because these two teams did not skate at CONSOL last March.
Had a chance to talk to Patrick Hammonds about an hour ago about his Butler Golden Tornado team, and talked at length about the goaltender Clay Bachman, a guy that we will see tonight. He has just been phenomenal in these playoffs. Through the regular season, he had good numbers, 279 goals against, 909 save percentage, and a 10-6-2 record. But here in these playoffs, 71 of 73 shots he has stopped. That's a 973 save percentage, and he has just been phenomenal, has let up 1 goal each of their 2 games. You go out there, you're playing your first game against just the defending national champions in Bethel Park. Your next game, the defending state champions in Peters Township. They beat both of those teams by a score of 3-1. Canon-Mac, slightly different route getting here. They took down a very, very talented Seneca Valley team with a tremendous goaltender in Alyssa Peterson, 4-3. They won that game in overtime. They followed that up in the semifinals when they took down North Allegheny 7-0. And that one, I think, was really maybe the surprise of the AAA tournament, that lopsided victory, because that's an NA team that just does not allow a lot of goals. They were the first team this year to score 5 or more goals, or excuse me, just the second team this year to score 5 or more goals on NA. And it seems like this Canon-Mac offense is starting to kind of hit their peak at the right time.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we talked a lot about that game against NA with Austin Tonkovich, like I said on the show Thursday. One that he pointed out, their guys came out with a lot of energy. The idea going out of pressing hard, knowing they were going to go against the 1 seed. They knew they had to bring a hard, strong, fast forecheck from the jump, and they did that. And I think the surprise came when NA maybe didn't quite match the intensity out of the gate, and before you know it, you're up a couple of goals, and it's 3, then it's 4, and the route was on. I mean, it's an improbable result in that, again, I wouldn't have expected either team to secure a blowout. And certainly when you have 1 versus 4, you're not expecting the 4th seed to be the one that secures a blowout, if anyone's going to. So a surprising result in that a defensive juggernaut in NA gave up 7, and they steamrolled their opening round opponent, Central Catholic, did the Tigers 7-0. So definitely interesting how it all ended up for them. And, it is what it is. Canon-Mac is here, and NA is going to have to regroup for next season. Who knows? Maybe they're watching on the network tonight as Canon-Mac and Butler get ready to do battle here.
We're going to step aside. When we come back, we will bring you the puck drop right here on the MSA Sports Network. Butler and Canon-Mac for the AAA title here at CONSOL Energy Center. It's the 2015 PIHL Penguins Cup Championships right here only on the MSA Sports Network.
Own your piece of hockey history with a Penguins game-used jersey. Visit J&J Distributing at www.jjdistributing.biz and check out one of the largest selections of Penguin game-worn jerseys from your favorite Pens, past and present. Or call them at 724-752-1556. J&J Distributing buys, sells, and trades some of hockey's most prized possessions, including the Penguins game-worn jerseys, Penguins practice jerseys, minor league jerseys, and new and game-used equipment. Browse their inventory today at www.jjdistributing.biz.
This is Adam Hoerner, and as promised last year, Josh Rowntree is here to help promote Season 10 of the PIHL Power Play right here on the MSA Sports Network.
But after so many years of coverage, where can we turn for some great hockey wisdom that we haven't yet? How about the head coach of the Mighty Ducks, Gordon Bombay?
Let's have fun out there.
Flying V! Soft hands. You don't shoot the puck to your teammate, you sail it to him.
And don't forget the most important piece of advice ever given by our mentor, Hans.
Wear thick socks, Gordon.
Catch the PIHL Power Play every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on MSASports.net.
And alongside Adam Hoerner, I'm Josh Rowntree here for the AAA Championship. Butler and Canon-Mac. We talked about Patrick Hammonds, the head coach of the Butler Golden Tornado. On the other side, Terry Virtue is the bench boss for the Big Macs. He has taken over this program, done a phenomenal job. A guy that is a former NHL and minor league player for a number of years. Has found his way here to Western PA and taken over at Canon-Mac. Has really done a tremendous job. The winner of this game will take on Holy Ghost Prep out of the eastern side of the state. They beat LaSalle College High School last night by a final score of 6-3 in the Flyers Cup. championship game. Those games will be played next Saturday at PIHL Ice Arena at Penn State up in State College.
I believe we're hoping to send a contingent up for that, but I like the PIHL location. I said hoping, Josh. That's why I said hoping. But the PIHL Ice Arena, I think, is a great place for states. I hope that they keep that going for a good while because it's a good central location for the Eastern and Western teams versus going to, say, Ashton like they did a couple of times over the years, or asking East to come here or West to go all the way out there. I like the centrality. And look, it's a D1 rink. It's a brand new facility. I think it's as good a venue as you're going to get for the state finals.
One thing we will say about this game, this is one of the better crowds I think we have ever seen in the PIHL Penguins Cup Championships. There are a ton of fans here for both sides. Butler has, I think, brought the entire county, perhaps. They are filling up 3 sections completely on the near side and are spilling over into 4 or 5 more on either side. So they have a good number of fans. Canon-Mac, no slouches either. They have 3 full sections on the far side. So again, it'll be Clay Bachman in the net down to our right. He is the goaltender out of Butler. His numbers on the year we mentioned, 279 goals against, 909 save percentage. He has stopped 71 of 73 in the playoffs. Connor Hartnett opposes him. He has stopped 48 of 51 shots in these playoffs as well. As we are set for face-off, it'll be Austin Tonkovich, the leading scorer of Canon-Mac, to take it against Dustin Davis. And we are underway in the AAA championship. The puck will be played behind the Canon-Mac net, goes over to the far corner. A battle for it on the far side of the ice, and it'll come around to the near side and be sent all the way back down to the Butler end, and that will go for an early icing call, just 20 seconds in.
So it's seen both of these teams play. It was very early in the year for Canon-Mac, a little bit later in the season for Butler.
Davis to take the draw against Tonkovich again in the left circle. Wins it back to the near side to Jonathan Fair. Look out for him, one of the more talented defensemen. Man got knocked down in the slot. Collecting it, though, will be Zach Gebhardt, and he rifles one off the near side boards where Fair collects it out near the red line. Then he goes across the ice right in front of the Butler bench. They'll work it back in. Stepping back, though, defensively is Jay Orovitz. He'll come to the near side where it's banked off those near side boards by Jack Clendaniel, a guy that has really come on late in the season for Canon-Mac. He has taken the reins as their number 2 scorer at 34 points in the regular season, second only to Austin Tonkovich. Now stepping up with it is Orovitz. He'll bank it in. Fair goes back behind his goaltender, Bachman. On the far side of the ice, puck comes free, going to be stolen away. It's McMillan. He gets hammered behind the net. Kind of shakes his head as he hops back up to his skates. Then a hit on the near side as a man fell down. Leads to a rush back the other way. Bringing it ahead and getting knocked off his sticks was Trevor Gilliland. Gilliland, the 3rd leading scorer during the regular season for Butler. Stepping up in his own zone and half slapping it back in will be Chris Campbell. He'll go all the way back down behind Hartnett and be touched up. And we have a stop and play here. One official had the call.
I don't know if we're sending anybody in here or not, but I don't think so.
I think they were saying it was a high sticking call on the puck.
The last sequence down by the Butler goal, it was Tonkovich, I believe, centered it down in front from behind, and they did attempt a shot, but it went wide near side, so it doesn't register. But a good early scoring chance by the Big Macs. Tried to sneak one by. Bachman just couldn't put it on target.
And no shots officially recorded just yet. Puck comes free in center ice, right on the Penguins logo, and it'll be dumped back in for Butler. It goes behind the cage. Coming to the near side. Canon-Mac controls. They look to outlet to Tonkovich. Went off his stick, but then up ahead. Man got bumped cutting through the blue line. That was Luke Lavella, but he was able to play the puck over, stolen away, and then it comes back. Campbell to the far side. Man fell down. Kind of a sloppy start to this one. Both of these teams almost seems like they're struggling with their skating in their early going, and it can be tough for teams. I saw it in the early going of the AA game, adjusting to the size of the ice.
Yeah.
Connor Scott sees a puck over his stick, then he takes a ton of contact, goes diving down to the ice. No call.
Not even a
Play
hit
on
of
the
a
near
whistle
side.
there.
Jonathan Fair just lays a shoulder into Brad Foligno. Fair laying the body already. Another man falls down. Boy, skating.
Yeah, that was Davis. He went down. He was bumped from behind as he tried to rag the puck.
It's kind of odd to see teams struggle this much. This is obviously as good of an ice surface as you're going to get in Western PA. Now bringing it ahead. This is number 17, Austin Sartorski. Sartorski's shot save, and that's the first shot of the game.
Good blocker save by Bachman.
Now back in his own zone is Gebhardt. Gebhardt, the defenseman, and the puck and threw it away. Stolen out of there by Marcus McCall. Now with it is Orovitz. Solid, steady defenseman. Banks it all the way around to Campbell in the far corner. Campbell up the far side boards to Martin. Chris Martin ahead. Have a chance here, 3-on-2. Martin goes towards the net, tried to sneak one in on the far post, but hit off the side of the net. It'll be taken away. Up ahead is Coleman Slane. Slane enters the zone down the left wing. He has it taken away from him. Nicely done there. Butler defensively playing well in the early going. Now a pass up to the high point. Shot on, hit a couple of skates. It looked like on the way through. Butler will take it.
It might have been a shot pass. There wasn't a lot on that, even as it came through, and then hit a couple of skates, as you mentioned, and deflected off target.
Andrew Wenzel played it up the far side. Puck nearly stolen away by Mansman. Mansman had the overtime goal against Seneca Valley. Back the other way, but it's stolen again by Tonkovich. Now in the corner and behind the cage. Canon-Mac takes control of the puck. They bank it off the near side boards. They don't get it out, though, as it's kept in. Campbell takes a big shot up high by Mansman. He's stolen away. In the right circle, shot on, save made. And holding on to it will be Hartnett. It's the first shot of the game as that came off the blade of number 12, Christopher Martin.
Watching Connor Scott in that last shift, he tried to create a scoring chance with his speed at the blue line and try to one-hand a guy to fend him off, but Scott is one of the faster skaters I've seen this season. He's fun to watch, and that speed's going to be a good weapon for Butler as we head down through this game.
There's an outlet. Bringing it on is Lavella. Lavella in the right wing, backhander, just missed. He takes a huge hit and swipes his stick at the man for hitting him. Looked like it was a clean play, though, but he took a hard hit into those end boards. Tonkovich now on it. Brings it through, 1-on-3. It's taken off the puck, but gets it back on the far side half boards. Brings it to the right point. Shot on, hit a leg on the way through. Rebound attempt, and Bachman will cover. Clendaniel was on the doorstep for a moment. There's another Big Mac player in the area as well. And that was number 89, Luke Lavella, was standing right there, had a couple of whacks at it, but Bachman made the save.
Two good saves by Bachman. The rebound might have been a better one because that was a funny bounce. He's able to pounce on it. And that earlier chance by Lavella before he got hit, he did not miss by much on that backhand. I mean, that was ticketed for the top corner. It didn't get bar, but it did not miss by much.
Face-off comes to the left circle. Shane Morgan will take it for Canon-Mac, opposing number 9. That's Cameron Bartow on the near side. That puck kept in, but then it'll hit a leg and go out of the zone. On the shot in by Gebhardt. Back behind the cage. Man fell down for Butler on the far side. I think he got hip checked to the ice. Gilliland turning shot, hit his stick on the way through, and then deflected just wide. On the near side, more bodies flying. As Foligno took a big hit again. That's the second time he's got hammered. 0-0 through the early going. Up the near side, stolen away by Morgan. He gets bumped from behind by Bartow. Puck came free, though, on the far side of the ice, Sartorski. And we're going to have a slashing call coming up here. I think Butler is going to head to the box.
Yes, they are. And, you know, there's been a couple of plays on both sides early on here that you thought, well, where's the whistle? Where's the whistle? Now we got one there, and Canon-Mac will get the first look on the power play of the evening.
That'll be on Jonathan Fair, and that's a big loss. Their best defenseman heads to the box. On the slashing minor, comes at 5:18 of the period. Face-off just outside of the left circle to carry him out of the zone. Collecting it will be Slane. Tonkovich now slowly works it over the blue line, but then lost it. Comes to the near side, a battle for it, and then near corner. Campbell had it, came to the side of the net as he lost the puck, and then it comes back out of the zone as Slane couldn't keep it in. This puck stolen away. Coming ahead is Gilliland. Gilliland diving to the ice, tried to get off a quick Superman-style shot, but couldn't quite get all of it.
He was on his belly trying to swat that puck in as he was taken down from behind. Couldn't put it home.
Tonkovich, some fancy moves, gets it across, save made by Bachman on the doorstep. Right there was Mansman, but he couldn't put it home.
Great stop. Great stop indeed.
In the left circle, up top, Slane. Slane drifting backwards. Left circle now. Walking in, shot on, got blocked as Tonkovich let it go. But right there was a Butler skater to get a piece of it. I believe that was McCall. On the near side, Tonkovich. Again, slowly they walk it in as they have 50 seconds to go on the man advantage. Tonkovich playing catch with Slane. They bounce one off the end boards, back up to the right point, Tonkovich. Sends it over to Slane, right back to Austin Tonkovich. Drifting, left circle, shot on, and it just misses. Good opportunity there on the left side. Tonkovich again. They throw one through the net mouth. It went just wide. There was a man crashing in Jack Clendaniel, but he couldn't touch the puck. Clendaniel's going to go off for a change. Tonkovich being harassed a bit as he tried to slowly play it into his own zone. Lavella with a head full of steam. Takes it to the left wing. Shot on, hit a stick. Lavella got thrown to the ice. 4 seconds to go on the penalty to fair. It's going to be over as Butler rushes ahead. Very slow and steady in the early going. Shots 3-1 in favor of Canon-Mac. Big Macs have scored 113 goals this year. 92 for Butler. Canon-Mac gave up just 62, though, on the year. They actually have been better defensively than Butler, who gave up 74.
Of course, here in the playoffs, you can certainly make the easy argument that Bachman has been a little better. I mean, obviously, it took overtime 4-3 in the first round for the Big Macs, whereas Bachman has had back-to-back 3-1 decisions and against two pretty good clubs.
Puck goes up into the Butler bench. I'll bring a face-off right in front of him. So again, not Canon-Mac, Cathedral Prep winners in AA as the Ramblers took down Armstrong. Now bringing it ahead. This is Martin. Martin let go of a shot from the left wing. Went through. Bartow chasing after it, but right there is Josh Miller to get in the way, and then it comes free. Shot on by Martin. Goes just wide. Butler on the forecheck here, keeping it in. Near side. Campbell banks it off the near side boards. Went around a man. That was Ackelson, Brendan Ackelson. Came free to Martin. Martin went through one on the backhand to the front of the net, but no one was home except for Canon-Mac defender, and that was Andrew Wenzel, who cleared it out of the zone. Two players battling on the near side as McMillan took a man down. Are we going to get a penalty here on Canon-Mac, or are they just going to get a hand pass call? Yeah, they are just going to call the hand pass. There's some pushing and shoving as it looked like Ackelson and McMillan got tied up on the near side, and they both kind of went falling to the ice awkwardly.
Yeah, they did. I mean, you look at it. It was a battle for the puck. I didn't see either team react poorly to it. So I'm not surprised there was no penalty on that one.
Behind the net it goes. Crashing hard is Dustin Davis. He was their leading scorer in the regular season. Quiet in their 2 playoff wins. Just 1 assist. One crossed in front. Came free for a moment to Davis, but right there, getting back defensively was Canon-Mac's Austin Tonkovich. Works it up ahead to Clendaniel, who brought it down the near side, then gave it off, but it was stolen away by Davis. Davis now with it. Will lift one up, but it's caught with the mitt of number 82, Zach Gebhardt. Far side, Gilliland brings it into the right circle. Low shot, rebound came to the near side. Comes back out, right point, big full slapper by Sam Gross. Rebound came off a leg, came right to the near side, and a slap shot on then was swallowed up by Hartnett.
Kind of a skipping puck there, attempted from a bad angle by Gilliland. He almost fooled Hartnett with that one. Shots are 4-3 Butler at the moment. Of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention what happened between these two teams early in the season. They split the season series. 7-6 Butler defeated Canon-Mac back on November 6th in overtime, a wild one. Canon-Mac won the rematch 5-0, that on January 26th.
Davis had a hat trick and an assist in the 7-6 win. Foligno had a couple of goals in the 5-0 Canon-Mac win for the Big Macs. Behind the cage, puck going to be taken away. Scott with it. Scott sends it over, now goes to the front of the net. Shot hit the side of the post, came right back to him, and then he got hammered, did Scott.
That was a great give and go by Scott and Gilliland. He just couldn't put enough on that to lift it over Hartnett. He was ready for that shot as Bachman covers back the other way.
Face-off will come in front of Clay Bachman, who has just been sensational in these playoffs, has stopped 71 of 73 shots on goal, including in the semifinals, stopping 46 of 47 in the upset win over the defending state champion Peters Township Indians. Off the draw, Butler wins it. They bring it to the near side of the ice. That was McCall, then it's chipped back in. Centering pass came from Christian Stewart. And it hit a leg, and it's going to be brought back with speed the other way. This is Davis. Davis, right circle, shot on, rebound, came free to him, and then he sent it just through the net mouth wide. Tracking it back will be Gebhardt. The near side, Smiley saw it go by his stick. That's Brett Smiley. Now battle over in the corner for it. It's Jonathan Fair mixing it up. He's had a great season, has Fair, 6 goals, 11 assists, but defensively speaking, one of the better defensemen that you're going to find in the PIHL. There's a shot from the right point by Wenzel. May have hit a stick on the way through, but went wide of the net. Now a backhand attempt by Smiley on the near side. But right there is Bachman hugging the post nice and tight, hit off the side of the net. Smiley working hard for it out there with Morgan. Taken away. It'll be sent all the way back, and Fair will track it down over on the far side. Takes a bump from Morgan and reverses ice to the near. Stepping up is Foligno. Foligno got hit. Right there, Sam Gross mixing it up. Still a scramble for it. Finally, it's going to come free. Comes out to Foligno at the right point, but they're going to get him for an offside call. They're going to say the puck came over the blue line. And then he brought it back in.
It's been a tight checking beginning of this game. I mean, we mentioned all the offensive fireworks in the previous meetings, but these two teams are obviously in the final, kind of running a tighter ship in the opening period with 5.5 left in it. Again, only 10 total shots on goal through the first 11.5 minutes of this hockey game.
Tonkovich off the draw, works it, splits the deep. Shot on, goes to the far side. It hits Seth Queen on the way through. Now Campbell. Campbell up the near side boards. And man, hit the ice hard for Butler. Battle on the far side. Finally, it'll come out. All the way back down the ice, trying to get there is Davis. Went right by him. He tried to poke it in as Hartnett covered up. Excuse me, that's Scott out there, not Davis. 86, not 88.
I go for the lefty versus righty thing when I see the 80s, yeah. I think. But yeah, that was the speed of Scott on full display, Josh. He just let that puck get away from him at the circle. If he catches up to that and hooks it in, he's got an easy look at Hartnett. As you watch the replay, yeah, it went off his skate. The right skate as he got to the circle. Bad luck for Scott there because he had his man beat.
Now this is Davis as he goes behind the net. The righty tried to bank it off the far side. Hit Slane though. Came free. They try to get it out to the point. They do. Left point shot on by Sam Gross. Hit a skate. 4.5 minutes to play. No score. Coming behind the net is Rogers. Ben Rogers out to the right point. Big slap shot coming through. Misses the net. Now Gross with it. Gross left point. Shot on. Went through traffic. There was a man on the doorstep. That was Marcus McCall, but couldn't get a piece of it. And Hartnett's able to make the save.
Good stop by Hartnett. Maybe not the best look Butler's going to get tonight, but still a shot.
Hartnett, a very good regular season. 11-5-1, 237 goals against. One of the tops in the PIHL. Split some time with Michael Trossman. Eric Podzalewski saw some time in net as well. Both of those guys playing 140 or more minutes on the season, so they got a couple of games under their belts. And this was Hartnett's job. Foligno lost the puck for a moment. It came to the near side. Brendan Neff out there in the front. Neff went to the net. Then it came free. Shot on by Gilliland from the slot. It was him and the goaltender, and he couldn't put it home.
That's the look a sniper like Gilliland wants. Between the hash marks, open look. He was able to tee that wrister up, but Hartnett stood tall. Good shot, better save.
Face off to the right circle. Gilliland out there on the draw, wins it and sends it back behind the cage. Near side hit on Wenzel. The outlet up ahead, a big hit, but the puck came free. Tonkovic, and he scores! Austin Tonkovic has done it again, his 6th goal of the playoffs. And the Big Mac captain puts Canon-Mac on the board 1-0.
Well, that was almost the same look that Gilliland had between the hash marks. A chance to tee it up. Difference is Tonkovic made Bachman pay. Big rip from the left-handed shot. I mean, he ripped the net. I mean, just a bad break for Butler. The puck bounces free behind the defense, and Tonkovic, right place, right time, and just rips it home. Just a funny bounce, and he capitalizes. 1-0 Big Macs.
Goal comes at 13:16 of this first period. Austin Tonkovic, his 6th goal of the playoffs. Lavella will get the lone assist on the goal, and that was a great pass that he made. Went behind the D. It was just kind of a big collision, but out of it came the puck. And it came right free to Tonkovic. Now back in transition. High shot by McMillan, and a good save made with that lefty mitt of Bachman.
Kind of a, let's test to see if the goalie's rattled kind of a shot, and Bachman says, no, I'm good. There's a nice glove snag by the netminder. Again, a 1-0 advantage here late in the first.
Nothing. Canon-Mac off the draw, shot on.
Tonkovic.
So it's one back to Austin Tonkovic. He's a fun player to watch. Missed some time this year as the puck is centered to him again. His shot hit a stick.
I'll tell you what, a very well-spoken young man. Sean and I both talked after the show. One of the better player interviews we've had, I think, in recent memory. He was very nice to talk to on Thursday night.
He has 11 multi-point games this year. 15 points in his last 5 games, though. Very impressive mark, including the 2 in the playoffs and the 3 to end the regular season. 15 points in 5 games. Near side. 2.5 to play, 1-0 Canon-Mac in the lead in search of their 2nd Penguins Cup title. Tonkovic running the gauntlet, split the D, got a shot off, but it's up into the chest protector of Clay Bachman, and he'll hold on.
Completely ran out of real estate right along the goal line. It was just maybe kind of hoping he could full Bachman, bank it off the equipment, but nothing doing. Still, shot on goal, never a bad play, as the old adage goes, and that's the 7th shot of the period taken by the Big Macs.
Shane Morgan on the draw on the left circle. Tie up as Gilliland was in there, and then a whistle will blow from the near side. Something going on with the clock, it looks like, as they're still running the clock up above. It's still running.
Still running, yeah. We're 1 and
They have not stopped the clock.
And the officials are just not going to worry about it, I guess.
It finally stops at 2:02, and now it's not running as play resumes.
I guess they're going to kind of mentally catch up, and now they restart it.
Foligno behind the cage, wraparound attempt, tried to jam it home, but it was stolen away. Again, Bachman hugging the post nice and tight. 2-on-4. They bring it ahead. Gilliland down the near side, took a shoulder by Gebhardt, and it's taken right back. Centering play. No one home, and now battle for it behind the net. On the near side, puck stolen, drop pass. Finally, Jay Orvitz says enough of that and takes it away. 3-on-2 They bring it ahead, but needing to go off for a change is Artorski. And a big hit behind the net. Man down for Butler, slow to get up.
It might have been headfirst into the boards.
I believe it was Seth Queen that took the hit.
On his knees there.
Finally, he'll be banked out of there.
He kind of drags himself over the boards. They might take him down the ramp right now.
Far side, Coleman Slane brings it on. Slane from the corner tried to toss one in front, not much on it. Davis intercepts. McCall then steps up. But Canon-Mac able to keep the puck in. 35 seconds to play here in period number 1. In the corner, Campbell. Fighting, finally it came free to Wenzel. Wenzel kept it in.
Yeah, barely.
Cross ice. Miller had it stolen away, did Slane after he took it. 20 seconds to play in period number 1. Bringing it on. This is Rogers. Rogers, a shot from the right wing, and a puck popped up in the air on Hartnett, but he's able to hold on and make the save.
Yeah, very casually snags that one. That's good thing he was paying attention, because that one could have snuck behind him. A tricky low shot, but he rises to the challenge. 10.4 on the clock, a 1-0 lead for the Big Macs here late in the first.
Face off to the right circle. One back, and it comes to the near side. Puck turned over. 3 seconds to go. Time will run out here in period number 1. The goal by Austin Tonkovic is the difference. Luke Lavella set him up, and it's 1-0 Canon-Mac after 1 period of play here in the PIHL Penguins Cup AAA Championship. You're listening only here on the MSA Sports Network.
Attention all teenagers in the South Hills. If you need something to do on a Friday night, look no further than the TGIF Skate at the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena. Featuring a live DJ, big screen TV, special effects lighting, and games from 8 to 11, it's the place to be this winter. Mount Lebanon Ice Arena also offers an after-school skate for younger children, Fridays from 4:30 to 6 p.m., and a full range of instructional programs for all ages. For more information, call 412-561-4363 or visit mountlebanon.org.
The team at S-Mark takes great pride in the company they've built and their growing presence in Pittsburgh. Strong values, steadfast dedication, and unwavering commitment extends well beyond the walls of S-Mark facilities into virtually every facet of our local communities. From ongoing support for critical health and human services for families and children to youth sports and recreation programs. It's the many faces of S-Mark that touch lives, instill hope, and provide opportunities to enhance and enrich the world around us. S-Mark is proud to extend its support of local communities through its sports sponsorship with the MSA Sports Network.
Want to learn how to ice skate or play hockey like they do in the PIHL? Looking for a good place to throw that winter birthday party? If you answered yes, Blade Runners is the place to go for public or private skating sessions, plus learn to skate and learn to play hockey classes. And don't forget to check out PIHL game action at their 2 locations in Harmarville and Warrendale. For more information on ice time, class and game schedules, or party planning, visit their website at www.bladerunnersice.com. See you at the rink.
High above the biggest rink in town, CONSOL Energy Center. As we start period number 2, Austin Tonkovic, he scored at 13-16 of period number 1 for Canon-Mac, and they lead 1-0. Alongside Adam Hoerner, I'm Josh Rowntree here at CONSOL Energy Center. PIHL Penguins Cup AAA Championship on the line. Butler, Canon-Mac. Underway in period number 2, stealing a puck and walking it into the zone is Gross. Gross got off a slap shot, went to the far side where Scott collects it. Scott tried to go around Gebhardt, but a good steal on the backhand by number 82, Zach Gebhardt, and he takes it away. All the way back down the ice where Jonathan Fair retreats. Slung it to the near side to Lavella, now off to Tonkovic, backhand attempt, and it went just wide. Boy, a great steal there by Lavella, and he set up Tonkovic for what nearly was his second. Now at the high point, shot on, hit his stick on the way through. Comes to the near side to Davis. Davis, a long shot up ahead, and he's going to let Ben Rogers go and chase it. Now Davis in the far corner, got behind Orovitz. Now comes to the near side where it's stolen away in the near corner. Big hit as a man went down to the ice for Butler. It was number 63, Ben Rogers. Now McCall going hard after it. Left point, puck kept in, goes back over to Rogers. Rogers turning, looking for a man. Davis came in to help, but it was kicked out of there at the last moment. Trying on the backhand was Seth Queen to keep it in. He did for a moment, but it's stolen away. Bringing it ahead. Backhand attempt by Foligno. Not much on it. Went wide to the near side. And great enthusiasm from both benches, both sides of the ring, too. Great crowds we've seen through these first 2 games here. Quaker Valley and Mars up next. Those two going at it yet again in a championship game. Puck came free. And it'll be bounced up the center ice where Foligno will go back and play it. And they have appeared in the championships, Quaker Valley or Mars, or both of them. They have appeared in the championship every year since '06. Now bring it ahead to Slane. Slane was taken off the puck, but it came free to the far side where McMillan had an attempt at it, but looked like it may have hit the heel of his stick and went wide.
Yeah, that year Quaker Valley won the first of its championships against Sarah Catholic in '06.
Look out. Break coming back. 2-on-1 shot towards the net is off the mark on the far side. Good looking play there as Ackelson had an opportunity down the left wing. Now in transition. Counter play the other way. Slane threw one towards the front of the cage and putting the glove on it is Bachman. A little bit of a scrum afterwards, some pushing and shoving, but everyone heads back to their respective benches.
Yeah, McMillan kind of stuck his nose in there. He was looking to stir things up a little bit. He kind of stuck his nose in after the play and got mugged by about 4 blue jerseys there. So he paid for it.
Puck taken away. This is number 81, Gavin Morrison. Morrison down the right side, went across the rink, came to Scott, then came back over. Morrison played only 2 games apparently during the regular season. Playing here, and he's played some significant minutes in this championship
yeah, he's
game.
skating with Scott right now, so obviously that's top line, well, and Gilliland as well.
Puck came out, wrist shot from Fair in the high slot, hit off the catching mitt of the goaltender Hartnett, and then went wide.
Quality shot, quality save there.
Slane back with it, goes around Gross, then got taken off the puck by Fair, who makes him think about it by giving him a little shot. Slane will retreat back to the bench. Near side dump in by Gebhardt. Goes to the far side, McMillan. McMillan plays it with the backhand. Thought it was the puck for a moment in the corner.
Yeah.
It was actually a mouthpiece. Someone was skating away. I saw everybody skating away from the mouthpiece. I thought they were skating away.
Why are you afraid of the puck, right?
It's one of those things when you're about a million miles away from the ice.
Right.
As Lavella throws a shot towards the cage, went out of the glove of Bachman. Now battle for it behind the net, trying to get it in front. Lavella played it off the side of the cage, but again, Bachman hugging it tight. Whistle blows. I think we have a puck on the back of the net. It's going to be the call here.
Yeah, Bachman, I don't think, knew quite where the puck was. Good thing it stayed behind the net off to the side there. And yeah, it's face-off coming outside the Butler blue line. Shots are 10-8 so far, favoring Butler. They trail 1-0.
And they're 10-7 after the first period. But the one shot for Canon-Mac is the most important. One of their 7 they had in that period was by Austin Tonkovich, and it was a goal. Now Lavella, another forecheck steal. Lavella behind the net, centered one. He had Clendaniel on the doorstep, but couldn't get a lot on it. Now a shot hits off the heel of the stick, stolen away by Davis. Davis up ahead, but he loses control. Right there was Wenzel.
Davis couldn't quite decide what he wanted to do there. He didn't quite come in at full stride and able to get knocked off the puck.
Campbell not quite able to get to it. As Canon-Mac was able to play it down and in, but stolen away out near the red line. We have
hand pass.
Hand pass is going to be called. Seen a couple of hand passes so far.
Yeah,
whistled in this game. Zach Mansman will take the draw opposite Cam Bartow. Bartow won it back. Ackelson out there as well, played it back to the defenseman number 34, David Stepanian. Now Fair with it. Fair down the right wing, goes behind the cage, centered one as the defenseman moved up in the play. Then in the far corner, Martin. Martin tried to dangle around a man, did around one, but the second one flattened him. Now a shot on. It's fanned, and there's going to be a penalty coming up here. I think they're going to get Canon-Mac.
Yep.
Looks like the Big Macs are going to the box.
Yeah, I think you got an interference call coming up. They definitely held up. I believe that was Chris Martin there down low trying to get to the loose puck in the corner. He got hit by 2 guys. I think the second one is who they're getting into the sin bin number 82, Zach Gebhardt. So Butler's first power play chance of the night, trailing by a goal. Couldn't come at a better time. The momentum kind of in Canon-Mac's favor here through the early part of the second period. At least they've had more of the zone time, it seems like, but good chance here for Butler.
Face off in the right circle, comes back to Fair. Fair to Scott. Scott, shot hit a leg.
That was blocked by Tonkovic.
Be roughing the call on Gebhardt. As Fair takes it, the right point, shot hit a player on the way through. That was Morgan out there, penalty killing. Now on the goal line, quick give and go as Fair crashed in. Got it right back from, I believe that was Gilliland. That's cleared all the way back down.
And Gilliland on the right next to the goal tried to pull the rebound and sneak a backhander from along the line, but he couldn't put it home.
Up ahead, this is Gilliland. Gilliland behind the cage. She has a goal and an assist in these playoffs, and a game-winning goal along the way. Now over to Fair. Fair waiting as he drifts into the right point. Delays. Sends one around to Scott, but comes over to Davis. Back to Scott. Scott delaying, waiting. Looking as he rotates the puck out to the near side half boards. Off to Fair. Wrist shot on the way through. Hit a leg, then went just wide. Davis. 2 men go after him. They're going to take it away, and they are not able to clear it out as Fair keeps it in. Fair then a low shot towards the cage. Hit a stick and then came free for a moment to Davis, but he couldn't turn with it. Scott on the near side, he's roughed up, and he has it taken away by Lavella up ahead to Morgan. Morgan drifting on the penalty kill. Shot hit a stick, went up over the head of Bachman. Butler takes over. Fair ahead to Gilliland. Skating hard. Right wing, brings it in. Shot on, hit the mask, and then hit the post. That hit the mask of Hartnett, then went up and hit the near side post and came back out. Cleared all the way back down with 6 seconds to go. Butler's going to be 0 for 1 on the power play.
Well, the throat protector of Connor Hartnett with a big play. And both teams 0 for 1 with a man advantage. Under 10 minutes to go in the second period.
This one banked back in on the far side. Tough battle for it. Finally it escapes. Gebhardt, though, will take it. Gebhardt in his own zone is able to outlet it up ahead. Stepping on, Canon-Mac. Slane now takes it. Slane, backhand attempt as he got set up from Mansman. Slane still on it. Puck free on the doorstep. Finally knocked out of there by Bartow. Right point, shot on. Hit a skate on the way through. Went just wide. Mansman. Up top to Orovitz. Back behind the net to Slane. And it's whipped up the near side and it'll come free. This is Ackelson down the near side. Orovitz back there, came free for a moment, but Ackelson had overskated and Orovitz plays it up the near side boards. Gross saw it go by him, then it comes free to Orovitz yet again. I like the way Orovitz plays. Very sound defensive player. Near side. Puck banked off the boards. Now picking it up would be Smiley. Smiley walking it in, drifts in, high shot, save made by Bachman. I'll tell you what, that's not an easy shot to glove down, and Bachman makes it look very simple.
He does. He's done that a couple of times, some of those high looks. And he does have a very, very solid glove hand. Halfway through the game, 1-0 Canon-Mac. Shots 12-9 favoring Butler. And the power plays again, both teams 0 for 1.
The puck taken by McCall. McCall tried to split the D, but stepping up nicely is Wenzel to lay a hit into him. Good scrap behind the cage. Finally, it comes free. Banked off the far side boards right in front of the Butler Golden Tornado bench. Trevor Barnes a shift here. He's scrapping it up. Finally, he'll knock it and play it out towards center ice. Christian Stewart As a little bit of a breather there for the Big Macs. They work some of their deeper units, maybe their third line that is out there. As this want to go all the way down for an icing call.
Of course, Josh and I will be back together this Wednesday, 8 p.m. for the Season 10 finale. The PIHL Power Play Show, regular night and time, 8 to 9 p.m. We'll recap all 3 Penguins Cup finals, preview the Division II final, and take a quick peek ahead to states next Saturday from Pagula Ice Arena. All that coming up Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, MSAsports.net.
Far side, and Morrison got knocked down. Shot from the right point. Hit a skate on the way through. Now up the near side. This will be Scott. Came free to Morrison. Now Gilliland. Shot on from the left circle. It bounced around like a pinball in there. Finally came right in front of Hartnett. Off the shot by Scott, and Hartnett's able to glove it. Kind of an odd pace to this game so far.
It has been.
It's been sort of slow going, and not a lot of opportunities either way. It's really been played between the blue lines a lot of this game.
No, I agree. You've seen some little spurts of activity, but and look, for 2 teams that combined for 18 goals in 2 meetings this year, it is kind of strange, but sometimes that's what happens. You play those offensive explosions a couple of times, then when the third game happens, actually both teams tend to tighten up, both afraid to give up the big goals, and look out, Butler, a good chance in tight.
Yeah, great opportunity right on the doorstep, but it's taken away by Tonkovic at the last moment.
Didn't get the number, he tried to roof that.
Now Neff. Brendan Neff off the near side. It'll go all the way back down for an icing call. Was trying to get there was Ryan Redmond. Couldn't quite get to it though.
And Quaker Valley going for their 4th straight Penguins Cup in our nightcap against Mars. That would be rarefied air, Josh. Only 3 programs in league history have won 4 in a row. Only one has done it 5 times. So the Quakers.
Meadville, is that correct?
Meadville is the one to do it 5. You're correct. And the other 2 are Bishop McCourt in Class A and Peters Township in Double A.
That's right.
So yeah, a lot of teams have done 3, but a small group have done 4.
Lavella off the draw, hit the back of the leg of Clendaniel, and then went just wide of the cage. Drifting back in his own zone is Orvitz. Cross ice. That last game is just want to go for an icing call. And that last game scheduled to start at 9:30. Probably will be a little bit later. This game started about 20 minutes late. But the PIHL, I mean, I think the first game just kind of played out a little bit longer. This one is going at a pretty good pace right now, but they're doing a great job, Jim Black and Dave Fry and everybody at the PIHL, of kind of moving the games quickly. You know, they're doing the player introduction still, but they're doing it in a different way where they just introduce players, and I think it's going to make things go a little bit smoother throughout the night than maybe in years past where some of those games have started just incredibly late and have taken a long time to complete.
Yeah.
It's been a fun night so far. Cathedral Prep, their first title in 18 years.
I think if they would have just realistically scheduled 7:30 and 10 for the last 2 games, we'd be thinking this is right on time. So
stealing the puck is McClelland. Yeah, but you put the earlier start time, people get here a little bit earlier too.
True. Very true.
Not a bad thing.
No, not at all. And look, if you can make it happen, make it happen.
Scott left it off. He had a man crashing the net. It looked like it was Gavin Morrison.
Some near misses here, Josh, the last couple of minutes.
Mansman leaves it off. Near side, McClellan had it, lost it, got it back, shot it through the net mouth. Stepping up to play it back in as Wenzel. Now a turning shot and a glove save made by Bachman again. Is a tremendous opportunity there from the left circle. That was Coleman Slane that let it go.
There's that glove you talked about coming in again. That was a good shot. Even though the replay, it looked even better. By the way, the Penguins Cup started in '75 in Class AAA. This will be the 41st time it's been awarded.
Now a steal. Puck was fanned on, coming back the other way. Down the left side, Ackelson, a shot on. And that was saved, nicely done there by Hartnett. Good opportunity on 2-on-1. Ackelson kept it the whole way. A puck pops up and heads over into the stands on the near side, on the Butler side of the ice. And that is a side of this crowd that is just full of people. It was Really a great crowd on hand here tonight. Expect a good one up next for Quaker Valley and Mars as well. Armstrong brought a really big following. Cathedral Prep, they had a huge student section. They didn't have quite as many people, but they had a huge student section that came down from Erie, and they had a pretty decent amount of people as well.
I saw quite a few buses outside when I was walking down to the arena when I arrived. So, yeah, it's I figured most of them belonged to Erie, so.
Puck behind the net, comes to the near side. Bumped off of it is Rogers, and it came out to Davis. Davis got behind the defense, shot on, hit the post. Oh, Dustin Davis had a great look, much like the Tonkovich goal. Kind of a fluky play, and he gets behind the D, but just can't hit. Now a transition opportunity back, and two men collide as they go hip on hip. Going flying to the ice is Campbell.
Shane Morgan of Canon-Mac was the man that took him down.
Now here comes Davis. Has some energy on him. Big slap shot, blocker to side. Rogers on the far wing. Man got taken down. Tonkovich looked like he got a blade under the skate of McCall. McCall hit the ice. And Tonkovich circles back in his own zone, collects, and then outlets up ahead. This is Lavella. Lavella walks in, good wrist shot. Better save by Bachman.
Davis on that trip down, he had all day to walk in, and I think he pulled the trigger a little too early. He wasn't quite between the hash marks yet. I think he looks like a guy, Josh, to me, that realizes he hasn't put up the points he'd like to put up at the postseason. I think he's squeezing the stick a little too tight out there tonight, maybe looking to do too much. It's not quite on when it comes to finishing off plays tonight.
Puck will be banked off the far boards behind the cage. Stepping up is Orvitz. And now Gebhardt. They lost it, turned over. Puck comes free in front of the net. A couple of hacks at it. No one really able to get a clean shot for the Golden Tornado, and then it sends it free to Tonkovich. Tonkovich down the left wing, wrist shot, good save made with the glove of Clay Bachman. It's kind of interesting, after they beat Peters Township, I was talking to our Don Rebel, who said that Bachman didn't really look right after the game, like he might have been banged up or was maybe injured at the end of that game, was not skating very well, it seemed, in the third period. And when he came off the ice, the team was celebrating, and he just kind of skated slowly and quietly off the ice. And I asked Patrick Hammonds about that before tonight's game. He said, I just think that's the type of kid that he is. If he's hurt, I don't know about it. We don't know about it. But he seemed fine to us, and I just think that's the type of kid that he is. He doesn't really get too high or too low out there, and I think that's exactly what you want from a goaltender, a guy that isn't really going to celebrate winning a semifinal game because he knows he can win a championship. Far side of the net, turnaround shot by McClellan, came free to Slane off the save of Bachman. Shots 14-13 Butler.
Well, you and I, of course, had him on the show 2 weeks ago. He was very, very well-spoken, very soft-spoken as well, very even-tempered. You could kind of tell that just from talking to him on the phone, no doubt about it.
Slane behind the cage. Saw it go by his stick, then Campbell took it on the backhand and banked it out to center ice. Ackelson had the great chance earlier, sees a puck go off of his arm and up into the bench. 2:48 to play, still 1-0 thanks to the Austin Tonkovich goal in 13-16 of period number one.
Butler's in this game. 14 shots, that they have the edge and just haven't been able to finish. If anything, I would tell them, get below the hash marks more, get in the wheelhouse of Hart. And a lot of those shots have been perimeter shots, I think, Josh, and that might be part of the reason they've struggled.
Fair will retreat into his own zone, turn and send it up the near side boards. Back to Orvitz. 2.5 to play here in the period. Potential 2-on-1 here. Lavella down the left side, shot on, and it just missed the far side post. Lavella then gets it back, turns, fires high. What a great chance there for Luke Lavella.
Back-to-back good chances, had a good chance his last shift as well. He's had some really great looks here late in the second as an icing call against Butler.
Yeah, turning is fair, and he just fires it all the way down the ice with 2:13 to play. Good look there by Luke Lavella, a guy that has 4 points in these playoffs, 14 goals in the regular season, 18 assists as well. He just missed that far side post. It's one thing being this high here. You have a great kind of view of how close pucks are when they get to the net. Sometimes when you're closer, it's tough to tell if, maybe a puck misses by, 4 or 5 feet. It kind of looks like a foot, but here, a puck misses by a couple inches. You can tell.
We have for the
turning shot, rebound attempt, they score! Foligno threw it to the front of the net, and right there was Austin Czartoryski to put it home. 2-0, Canon-Mac leads. The rebound goal by Czartoryski, and that is a big one for a depth line of the Big Macs.
Just talking about Butlers need to get below the hash marks. Canon-Mac did so just there, and Czartoryski finishes it off for a big 2-0 lead. 2 late goals for Canon-Mac in this hockey game, 1 in each period, to build this lead.
Each by guys named Austin. First Tonkovic, now Czartoryski. That is just Austin Czartoryski's 5th goal of the season. And it's a big one, the biggest he will score potentially of the year. Now Czartoryski again, he shoots and scores! Czartoryski again! He scored 4 all year, he has 2 in the championship.
2 in the last 10 seconds for Czartoryski, and that is a crippler right there. 2 goals in the final 2 minutes of a period in any game is bad news, and the Golden Tornado are going to have to dig deep starting right now.
Czartoryski got it on the side of the net.
Just dumped it in.
This is going to be an unassisted goal. He took it off a steal.
That was his own dump in, yeah.
Yeah, Mansman was applying pressure. It came free. And right there was Czartoryski. He found some room over the right shoulder of Bachman, and it's 3-0. I think that's the first goal.
I think you're right.
Now an outlet pass. Look at this guy. He has some jump. Czartoryski again on it. And he takes a huge hit into the end boards, but hops right back up. It is an unassisted goal, the second. Now at the right point. Canon-Mac trying to lay it on. They lead 3-0. My goodness. If you were to pick a potential hero in this game, I'm not sure you would have selected Austin Czartoryski, but that's the guy. This is a guy whose name is spelled wrong on the PIHL website, according to his head coach.
Right. Well, according to his jersey as well, I got a good look after the first goal. I could see the eye on it, so for sure it's spelled wrong in the league. But they're going to get it right going forward, I can assure you that. Austin Czartoryski.
No doubt about it.
2 big goals late in the second period.
Bringing it ahead is Gilliland. They could use a goal here before the period. They haven't got one yet. Gilliland on the backhand was knocked out of there by the goaltender Harton, and net came off the moorings as Gilliland went hard to the ice.
Wow, how quickly this game has turned on a dime. A tight game, and within seconds, it's 3-0. I'll tell you, the way the game's going, we talked about it, it's tight checking. It's way different from the first 2 meetings. Kind of fitting that a third liner comes out and gets a couple important goals in this game. Butler definitely has to regroup and come out firing. They definitely have to have the skill to do it. Gilliland, Davis, Scott, they've got the speed and the skill to do it. They've got to find a way, though, to get some traffic in front of Hartnett.
There's a penalty as well. A penalty called on Tonkovic.
I think knocking the man into the net to force it off the moorings.
Holding is the call on Tonkovic. Now Gilliland on the far side went down to the ice again, lost his edge. Ice surface maybe not the greatest here at this point. There's a puck thrown to the front of the cage, and it'll go to the far side. Stepping up with 7 seconds of the period and banking it all the way back down is McMillan, and that'll do it for period number 2. What an explosion. 2 goals in 10 seconds by Austin Czartoryski. And he's getting the big congratulations as they head off the ice. A guy that had scored, again, just 4 goals all season has 2 here in the championship game. It's 3-0 Canon-Mac over Butler after 2 periods of play in the PIHL AAA Penguins Cup title game right here, only on the MSA Sports Network, brought to you in part by our good friends at Trip Total Media.
The history books are filled with the names of great athletes and great teams from Western Pennsylvania. They share stories of great victories and stunning defeats, but they all have one thing in common. They know the championship season is the time to be first. First Commonwealth Bank, proud sponsor of the WPIHL and the best high school athletes in Western Pennsylvania. First Commonwealth, time to be first.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
UPMC Sports Medicine is the region's largest and most experienced center dedicated to caring for athletes of all levels. And as we celebrate more than 25 years of world-class care, we're proud to offer more services, have more physicians, and treat more student athletes than any other sports medicine provider in the region. Why would you choose to go anywhere else? To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Own your piece of hockey history with a Penguins game-used jersey. Visit J&J Distributing at www.jjdistributing.biz and check out one of the largest selections of Penguin game-worn jerseys from your favorite Pens, past and present. Or call them at 724-752-1556. J&J Distributing buys, sells, and trades some of hockey's most prized possessions, including the Penguins game-worn jerseys, Penguins practice jerseys, minor league jerseys, and new and game-used equipment. Browse their inventory today at www.jjdistributing.biz. When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf. The team at S-Mark takes great pride in the company they've built and their growing presence in Pittsburgh. Strong values, steadfast dedication, and unwavering commitment extends well beyond the walls of S-Mark facilities into virtually every facet of our local communities. From ongoing support for critical health and human services for families and children to youth sports and recreation programs. It's the many faces of S-Mark that touch lives, instill hope, and provide opportunities to enhance and enrich the world around us. S-Mark is proud to extend its support of local communities through its sports sponsorship with the MSA Sports Network.
Hi, this is former St. LaSalle, Mount Pleasant Trinity basketball coach Joe Dunn, here to tell you that I'll be joining Dawn Revel and Johnny Lee on the WPIHL Roundball Report, Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. here on the MSA Sports Network. There we go.
Coach, this is a 30-second commercial.
What? Whose call was that? That's a terrible call. I mean, I just sat down here. I'm all, this is the kind of stuff that happens to me.
We have another ex-coach.
It's just one of those things.
Join us for the WPIHL Roundball Report Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock here on the MSA Sports Network.
You're killing me.
Back here on the MSA Sports Network, we are at intermission number 2 of the PIHL AAA Penguins Cup Championship game, and Canon-Mac a 3-0 lead thanks to a couple of Austins. Austin Tonkovich first, and then 2 in 10 seconds by Austin Zartorsky, and now Canon-Mac with that 3-goal lead. I'd like to take this time here during the second intermission. Big shout out, big thanks to all of our sponsors, including one of our new sponsors here, S-Mark. Great sponsorship, great relationship we've had with them all year long. They have done so much for high school sports here in Western Pennsylvania. A lot of things that people really don't see, things behind the scenes. The S-Mark Corporation, they have done a ton here in Western PA, and now on board with us their first season as official sponsors of the MSA Sports Network. Big thanks to them for their continued coverage of high school athletics, whether it's WPIL or in particular here today, the PIHL. Big thanks to our friends over at SMART for their continued support. Well, Adam, we've played 2 periods.
Yeah.
It's been interesting. I thought the first 10, 15 minutes, I thought was a lot of feeling out. Kind of some slow skating. It was a little bit of a rough start, a lot of icings, pucks out of play. It wasn't the greatest start to the hockey game. But it really started to pick up, and I think really you saw there at the end of the period, sometimes they talk about it in championship games, and we saw it a few years ago. You always talk about Game 7s. Some guy who unheard of or not expected comes out in Game 7s. We saw it here with a team that plays in this arena, the Pittsburgh Penguins and Max Talbot, a guy that had done some things, but certainly wasn't the guy that you would predict to be maybe the hero of the biggest game of the year. I think that's exactly what Austin Czartoryski is tonight, a guy that had 4 goals all year, and here in the championship game, he already has 2. So what an effort by him in this third line of Canon-Mac. And right now, that's the difference. I mean, he has put this game into a point where Butler really is going to have to push here. They're going to have to do something nearly miraculous to get back in this game in the third period.
They're going to have to. I mean, it's going to have to start early for Butler, down 3 the way Hartnett's playing. And again, I think it comes down to traffic in front. Butler has not had a lot of that tonight. They have had some shots from below the hash, but it's been like from the side of the net, coming from behind the net. Nothing where they've been in his wheelhouse, and they need to get there. They're going to have to get some dirty goals. It's not going to it can't be pretty. The perimeter stuff from Davis and Scott is just not happening. They've got to get down low, get in Hartnett's grill, and bang some dirty goals in there. I tell you, that play by Czartoryski on the second goal might be one of that's going to be one of the people we're going to talk about. An individual effort. He gets his own dump in and buries that goal. I know it's not the game winner, at least not right now, but that's one of those plays. You talk about a guy rising to the occasion of a championship game. That is an individual effort that I just think those are plays that you remember years later, and I think that's one that we'll be talking about for quite a while.
On the unassisted goal, I think really it's not going to be an assist, but a big credit on that play, I think, has to go to number 18, Zach Mansman, who on the dump-in came in and applied the back pressure. I'm not sure if he got a piece of the puck or not, but it came free right to the front, and then there was Czartoryski to put it home. Let's take a look now at the Blade Runner scoring summary. The Blade Runner scoring summary brought to you by Blade Runners in 2 locations in Harmarville and Warrendale. In the first period, 13-16 was the time of our first goal. Austin Tonkovich, he got Canon-Mac on the board first. He makes it 1-0 as he is set up by Luke Lavella. Kind of an odd play as he brings it down, does Lavella, the near side of the ice, takes a hit by 2 guys, and then somehow Tonkovich out of nowhere finds his way in behind the defense and is able to just wrist one, a snipe shot really, right behind Bachman to make it 1-0. It was 1-0 after 1 period of play. Shots were 10-7 after the first period. We go to the second, and an early penalty on Zach Gebhardt would be killed. Butler right now 0 for 1 on the power play. They do, however, have 1 minute and 27 seconds. I think that's going to be key.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a moment. We played even until 14:57 of the second period, and that is when Austin Czartoryski struck first. Brad Foligno sets him up. Josh Miller gets an assist as well, and the rebound off the shot by Foligno comes right over to Czartoryski, who puts it home, gets it through the pads of the goaltender Bachman. That makes it 2-0, and then right off the draw, Czartoryski dumps it in. Good back pressure coming from Mansman. Puck comes free right to the side of the net, and then walking it in on the goal line is Czartoryski, and he just finds a little bit of room, just a tiny crease behind the goaltender, and Bachman it looks like from our point that he went up and over the right shoulder, was able to tuck it in between the helmet and the goalpost, and that made it 3-0. At 16:27, Austin Tonkovich took a holding penalty. That'll carry over into the corner. Excuse me, 16:33, he took the penalty. There'll be 1 minute 27 seconds left in that man advantage for Butler, and I think that's going to be key. I think they have to get a goal. I know there's a lot of hockey left after that, but if you're Butler, you have to be saying, you know what, this is our season potentially here if we don't get a goal on this early power play with the fresh ice here in this third period.
Right, no, I agree. I think it's a must-score power play for Butler, especially the way the game has gone, the momentum. Clearly with Canon-Mac right now, they outshot Butler 8-4 in the second period. Late goals and early goals are killers. Canon-Mac got 2 late goals. Butler's got to answer that with an early goal. I agree with you completely. Back to the Tonkovich goal just for a moment. a player like that, you can't let him sneak behind you. Let's face it, he snuck behind the Butler defense on that goal. Lavella, it may not have been an intentional. I mean, he meant to poke it past the D. I don't know if that was an intentional pass to Tonkovic, but it got to the right spot behind the D, and nobody knew he was there until it was too late. So just a great play by the best player on the ice for the Big Macs. For Butler, the skilled players have had the puck and had their chances. Gilliland, Scott, Davis, but a lot of it's been for the perimeter. And the best look of the game, Davis had half of the offensive zone to walk in on Hartnett, and I think too many moves, and I think he pulled the trigger too quickly. And that was a golden chance he'd like to have back. And not long after that is when it became 2-0 and then 3-0 in favor of the Big Macs. So you look back at that as a moment where Butler could have changed the game and didn't, and here we are.
Clay Bachman had allowed just 2 goals throughout the playoffs. He had stopped 71 of 73 shots. He's stopped tonight 13 of 15, or excuse me, 12 of 15. Yes. Do you think maybe the first Czartoryski goal kind of rattled him a little bit? I mean, it's tough to say, obviously, without kind of diving into the mind of a young goaltender, but it kind of seemed like when they came back down on that rush that he was a little bit jittered, a little bit out of control, and he left an opening, and that's something that he had not done the entire course of the game, and really through the playoffs so far from what we've seen. He has not left any openings for any sneaky or cheap goals, and that one I thought was one that he probably should have had.
I agree. But I think watching the reactions, I think the third goal actually rattled him more than the second goal, and I credit the third goal as much to the jump of Czartoryski as maybe a little bit of a lapse by Bachman. I think he was excited, he was pumped, he saw an opportunity and took it. I mean, a kid that doesn't get a lot of goals gets a goal in this building and on this stage, and he's still on the ice. Yeah, he's going to come at you hard. And look, Butler's D didn't do much to stop him. That was an innocent-looking dump in, and the first man there was the guy that dumped it in. That is a mistake by the Butler defense as well.
He had a chance on the next shift after he scored the second goal to get a quick hat trick. I mean, he nearly had a hat trick in about a 20-second span, which would have been just phenomenal. But regardless, it's 3-0 here after 2 periods of play. Of about 5 minutes to go to the start of period number 3. Again, the winner of this game will take on Holy Ghost Prep. They defeated LaSalle College High School 6-3 last night in the Flyers Cup AAA Championship. The Flyers Cup and the Penguins Cup are very different when it comes to AAA. The Penguins Cup, you have a classification with 12 teams in it. There are 11 public schools, 1 private school, and that's Central Catholic.
Right.
I'm not sure about the entire classification out there, but I think that the entire classification in AAA in the East in the Flyers Cup is 8 teams. All of them are large private schools. So it's very different, and I know that there's some preliminary talks potentially about maybe shaking up in the future the format of the PIHL potentially, and the Eastern Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League as well. There's some talks about maybe shaking some things up so that you could potentially have what we have now in Division II, or formerly the Open Class. Those teams could potentially play for a state title in Pennsylvania. Some different things I think being thrown around, and I'm open to it. I think you get another group of players in Division II a chance potentially to come here and play a CONSOL or play for a state championship. I think it's nothing but good things, and it is very interesting how it's very different between, especially in AAA on the eastern side and the western side of the state, where really the public schools here, and this is something that's different than what we see in sports throughout the state now. The public schools have really had the upper hand many times, as in every classification, the PIHL has won more state championships than the teams from the East. So the public schools here have had a little bit more of an advantage, despite the fact that they can't really draw from all over. They just draw from their own school district.
No, exactly. I mean, and now look, we all know, for just living here, that there's money in a lot of these public districts, even though they're not private schools, like Canon-McMillan, the whole South Hills powerhouse area. I mean, there's a lot of money out there, and that helps. I mean, obviously the private schools, the money helps. And even though it's a public school, obviously there's parents and there's boosters, and there's definitely some money in that area. So that does help. But I think the coaching here is obviously phenomenal, and the boom in hockey in this area from Mary Lemieux, Sidney Crosby, Yarmer Yager, Evgeny Malkin, all that helps, of course, to keep interest up and get a lot of kids involved. And the more kids that are involved, the bigger the talent pool is going to be, obviously, and the better chances that you get. I'm a big fan of the way the PIHL is organized, not just because we cover it. I think just because it's organized. I like that there's a flow to the classification. There's clear-cut standings and all the rest of that. Out east, you don't really get that. I mean, it's much different how it's run out there. I'm sure if we worked out there and covered it, we'd figure it out, and I'm sure we'd be fine with it. But it's a lot easier to follow what the PIHL does. And a lot of that is simply their website, which has been fantastic for years, has only improved. But there doesn't seem to be a central data hub for the eastern teams, at least that I've found. But all things considered, the PIHL, they win a lot. I think part of it is it's a better run league overall. Just my opinion. And certainly, nothing's perfect, but I think overall, I think it's been a pretty well-run organization since it came into existence in 99-2000.
All right, we're going to step aside. When we come back, we will bring you period number 3. 3-0 is the score. Canon-Mac over Butler. After 34 minutes, you're listening to the 2015 PIHL High School Hockey Championships only here on the MSA Sports Network.
The history books are filled with the names of great athletes and great teams from Western Pennsylvania. They share stories of great victories and stunning defeats, but they all have one thing in common. They know the championship season is the time to be first. First Commonwealth Bank, proud sponsor of the WPIHL and the best high school athletes in Western Pennsylvania. First Commonwealth, time to be first.
What you want, what you want.
What you want is to stay warm this winter by logging on to www.msasports.net each and every day. We have all the schedules, the scores, the rankings, and the standings of the high school winter sports, plus weekly shows like Inside the WPIHL Wrestling Circle, the PIHL Power Play Show, and the WPIHL Roundball Report, along with live and archive broadcasts of whatever your favorite high school sport is. Anytime, anywhere, always there, every day this winter. It's the MSA Sports Network.
UPMC Sports Medicine is the region's largest and most experienced center dedicated to caring for athletes of all levels. And as we celebrate more than 25 years of world-class care, we're proud to offer more services, have more physicians, and treat more student athletes than any other sports medicine provider in the region. Why would you choose to go anywhere else? To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Attention all teenagers in the South Hills. If you need something to do on a Friday night, look no further than the TGIF skate at the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena. Featuring a live DJ, big screen TV, special effects lighting, and games from 8 to 11, it's the place to be this winter. Mount Lebanon Ice Arena also offers an after-school skate for younger children, Fridays from 4:30 to 6 p.m., and a full range of instructional programs for all ages. For more information, call 412-561-4363 or visit mountlebanon.org.
It's cold outside and dark way too early. That must mean one thing. It's wrestling season. With the mats rolled out in a gymnasium near you, be sure to tune in to Inside the WPIHL Wrestling Circle, Monday nights at 7 p.m. on the MSA Sports Network.
We'll provide all the scores from around the WPIHL, focus on key matches, talk to coaches about their season, and provide in-depth analysis that you can't find anywhere else.
So cozy up around the fire and tune in to Inside the WPIHL Wrestling Circle every Monday night at 7 p.m. on the MSA Sports Network.
On Monday night, we'll have the PIHL Division II playoffs, the semifinals on the MSA Sports Network. Carrick against Meadville, the top seed out of Class C against the fourth team out of Class B, and then B number 2 Indiana against B3 Beaver. We are underway here for the third period, and Butler in need of a rally, down 3-0, thanks in part to 2 late goals by Canon-Mac's Austin Zartorsky. Power play time remaining. Here's a big drive, rebound, and Hartnett makes the save right on the doorstep. A great opportunity for the Golden Tornado, but they just cannot capitalize.
Christopher Martin, right where we said they needed to get, below the hash marks, on the doorstep, rebound chance. I don't know how that puck doesn't go in the net. Great save by Hartnett, obviously, but that was the chance for Butler right there.
Gilliland takes the draw. Off to McCall. McCall skating strong, brings it to the right point to Fair. 54 seconds as they look up at the clock. from the Golden Tornado bench. This one brought to the near side, nearly out to center ice, but kept in. Scott now with it. Goes to the goal line, now back up to the left point. Davis, big drive, hit a stick and goes up into the netting. Again, shots after 2 were 15-14 in favor of Canon-Mac. Only 4 shots in the period for Butler. Shots were 8-4.
You know, again, after 10 in the first period for Butler, only 4 in that second. You can clearly see how the ice tilted from Butler's favor a little bit to Canon-Mac's favor in there in period 2.
Davis up top to Fair. Fair with some room. Big shot, just missed the cage. Boy, a great look there for Jonathan Fair. Now it comes out to Davis. Right side looking for Fair. Banked it off the sideboards. Came into the right circle. We're stepping up and playing it was Josh Miller as an assist on the first Zartorsky goal. Gross now behind the cage. Skating hard with it. On the backhand over to Fair. Fair waiting. Comes to the near side. Gross backpedals and then banks it around to Scott. Scott on the far side. Comes out with it. Waiting. Off to Fair. Fair, a slap shot. Hit a stick on the way through. Threw Harton it off, but he was able to get a pad on it, and then it's cleared all the way back down. As the penalty is over, Butler now 0 for 2 on the man advantage.
Standing there providing his screen was Sam Gross. Couldn't get a stick on it, though.
Foligno on a steal, walks in, gave it to Tonkovic. His shot looked like it may have caught the stick or the right blocker of the goaltender, and Clay Bachman. Big chance there potentially to put this one away for Tonkovic. Couldn't hit. Now up ahead, Tonkovic chasing after it, but getting back is Campbell. Now Gross takes it center ice. Swoops to the far side of the rink. Gross walking it in, waiting, and then he'll bank it behind the cage. Foligno on the near side. He's been good tonight, Foligno. It's a hockey name.
Yes, it is.
Bartow, cross ice. Big drive on a half slapper, hit a stick, then a rebound came right in front of Hartnett. He let a large rebound go. Then Ben Rogers battling. Now Bartow with it in the far corner. Comes back to Rogers. Rogers. Hands off. Bartow had it taken away. Good forecheck here as Scott trying to keep it in, but finally it'll be banked all the way back down the ice. Icing is waved off. Stepping back is McCall. Left it off, and it comes near side to Campbell. Campbell long outlet up the near side of the ice looking for Scott. Missed him. Came free to Morrison. Morrison banks one off the far side boards. Hit on the near side, man. Got rocked. That was Wenzel. He lost control of the puck as well in that. Scott lost the biscuit for a moment. And that's because Wenzel gave it right back. Now Clendaniel. Clendaniel up ahead. Getting bumped. Nearly the puck thrown away. It is. Lavella takes it. Look for Clendaniel, who was cutting in. Now Morgan. Shane Morgan behind the cage. Lavella right there. Came out to Clendaniel. A quick half slapper went just wide. Far side Miller. A little bit of a buzz here for Canon-Mac as Morrison will play it up the far side boards. Doesn't get it out. Kept in by Miller. Now the near side. It's banked off the glass. I clear it back down to center ice. Morgan steps up for Canon-Mac, tried to split the D, couldn't do it, then got it back behind the net, centered one, no one was home. Leads to a counter back the other way. I have to think here that Butler will be trying to go hard, and Canon-Mac, their game right now is just be a little bit conservative. Here's Mansman, though, with an opportunity as he got a steal, but getting back was Davis. Mansman had to delay a little bit, so they didn't get caught with too many men, and that allowed him a chance at the puck, but not a great one. Rogers centered one from behind the cage, came out to Gross. Gross gets dragged to the ice, no call.
That's a tough no call there, I think.
McClellan near side, crosses one over to Slane. Coleman Slane got bumped. Slane and Mansman were a couple of guys that were suspended at the end of the year, and I believe they had their suspensions either reduced or nullified off a game late in the season. Now Scott back with it, takes a stick high, gives it off into the slot, shot on by Martin. Rebound attempt from the near side, and it nearly snuck in. Gross now from the near side boards, a shot on, hit a skate on the way through, and then it's outletted to McClellan. McClellan dumps one into Zartorsky. There he is. Austin Zartorsky Gets it back from McMillan. What a game for that young man. If they hold on and win this, he will tell everybody that he knows about this game for the rest of his life, probably.
Oh, he might be telling MSA Sports Center stage about it, I'll tell you that right now.
This one banked off the far boards, comes out to center ice, turning and firing one back in. This is Butler, that was Martin. Behind the cage. Butler with some good pressure here. They're just not hitting the net. Puck came free at the right point, hit a skate on the way through. Campbell tried to keep it. Could not. It was going to be an offside call, and then a big collision back the other way as Martin ran into number 54. That's Shane Morgan. Zartorski with 2 goals, the only guy with multi-points in this game. I'm not sure he's had multi-points in a game all year. Comes out to the far side, half boards, pinching down on it is McCall. Tried to play with the skate, then lost it. 2-on-2. Tonkovic with Foligno. Tonkovic into the right circle, goes to the legs, backhand as he passed one through the net mouth, but Foligno couldn't quite get there. That was a beautiful looking play by Tonkovic.
Stick handling in a phone booth to get that pass through, my goodness.
Oh, another backhand. He's looking for Lavella. Lavella, a quick shot, but Bachman makes the save.
I'll tell you what, Lavella and Bachman, then quite the duel. Lavella has tried everything he can to get a puck past Bachman, and he's just not letting him have any space. Good shot, better save. He even had a D-man. He tried to use it as a screen, but Bachman found the puck. 10:22 to go in regulation. I think Butler did grab some momentum, Josh, if nothing else, in that early power play, but no goals to show for it.
Tonkovic, a wrist shot, went just wide. Zartorski has had a couple of multi-point games this year, in fact. They were both late in the season. This is Gilliland. Gilliland on a steal, tried to center one.
Tonkovic is down.
And Tonkovic banged up. Looks like he's holding his arm as he walks over to the bench. To watch that. They might be able to survive the rest of this game without him, but certainly in the state championships a week from today, you're going to want him.
Yeah, he looks to be, trainer's going to talk to him. Well, we'll see here. He's got a stoppage.
Goes all the way down for an icing. For Zartorski, he had a goal in their first game of the season, a 2-1 loss to Bethel Park. He didn't score again. That was on October the 9th. He did not score again until January 20th when he had 2 goals against State College. He followed that up with a 2-assist game against this very Butler team. That was a game that they won 5-0. Did the Big Mex. Now walking it in, Rogers, a quick shot to the cage. Hit a skate again on the way through. That's one thing I feel like I've said a lot tonight, Adam, is Canon-Mac, they are getting skates, shins, anything they can on pucks, on passes to the net. They're not allowing a lot of shots through, and that's helped their goaltender out immensely.
No, it has, and again, you take nothing away from the effort of Connor Harton tonight. He's made some good saves, but his defense has helped him out a lot. There's not been a lot from in tight. He's got clean looks at a lot of the shots he's seen, so I'm not saying he's had an easy night, but he certainly had one of those nights where he's had help in there, that's for sure. So
face-off will come. To the left circle, a bit of a delay though here. Not sure what the delay is for. Another Butler player coming on. It's a draw. Puck hit a man on the way through, and then it comes out to McMillan. McMillan brings it down the near side. Behind the cage, battle for it. 9 minutes to play, still 3-0. This one starting to look a little grim here for this Butler team. There's a quick shot, though, coming back. I believe it was Gilliland that got it through. But But a good save made by Hartnett. That's one of the tougher ones he's had to fend off tonight. Gilliland laid a hit into Mansman on the near side, kind of behind the play. I'm surprised nothing was called on that. McMillan. Someone lost a glove out there.
One of the Butler players.
Butler player who picks it up. We'll go all the way back down. It was Gilliland that lost it.
Well, midway through the period, Josh, 3-0 still Canon-Mac. Shots in the period, 5-1 Butler, so that's been a positive. I'm sorry, check that. No, I was right. Yes, I was right. 5-1 Butler, but, you know, man, how much would I like to have that early goal from down low back that Martin just couldn't put past Hartnett? That was the chance right there. But Butler has had some other opportunities. We'll see if they can capitalize here. Still hockey to be played.
On the near side. Coming into this game, Connor Hartnett had not allowed a goal in 63 minutes, and that has been extended greatly through this one so far. He will be up over, he already is up over 100 straight minutes without allowing a goal. The last goal he gave up came at the 5:07 mark against Seneca Valley in their first round game. Fair on the far side. This game getting a little chippy here too as we wind it down. 3-0 is the score. 7:40 to play. Face-off will come outside of the zone. So nearly now 107 minutes without a goal allowed for Connor Hartnett. It's very impressive. Shot on, hit a stick on the way through, blocked down by Orovitz and stolen away. Big blast, and it got its way through off the drive by Davis, but then it hit the near side post and rattled out.
Wow. Closest Davis has come all night, including that breakaway earlier.
Shoot it more. McCall dances with it and then gave it off, and it comes free. Tonkovic, look out. Tonkovic all alone, walks it in, shot, and he missed the net.
Great back pressure applied by, I believe, Ben Rogers for Butler.
Bachman will glove it as it was sent back in by Clendaniel.
May have also been 53 Marcus McCall. Hard to tell with the jersey tuck, but wow. Good hustle back, though, because Tonkovic, I think he was forced to rush that shot a bit.
Man, just a blazing slap shot from the far side half boards. They showed on the replay here.
From Davis, yeah.
Davis just wound up and somehow got it to sneak through the equipment of Hartnett. Near side. Stepping up with it is Martin. Cross ice, he dumps it in to the far corner. Miller tracks it back. Right there is Rogers giving him a bump. And it came free. Right circle, shot on. Hit a man on the way through. Fair turns, fires. Came to the far side post, and a turning shot bounced off a stick again. Now Mansman back the other way, centers one. A great feed in front as McMillan was right there, but he couldn't put it home. Slane into the right circle. Wenzel will dump it in. So we approach 6 minutes to play in the AAA championship. Slane now. Slane walks into the front of the net. Rebound hits the post. Oh, great opportunity on the far side post for McClelland. He couldn't sneak it in. Won't get a better look than that from that position. He had Bachman down and out. Slane up ahead. Behind the cage, takes a bump from behind. It'll be stolen away. Skating hard with it up the far side for Butler as Davis leaves it off. Wrist shot, hit a man on the way through. Excuse me, that was Scott that had it. Now he gets it back behind the cage. Off to Campbell. But again, stolen by Gebhardt. Off to Morgan, who skates it ahead 2-on-1. Will back it out, delay. And feeds it to the high point. Waiting, wrist shot. His stick again. We approach 5 minutes to play. Canon-Mac looks like they're closing in on Championship number 2 in school history. Of course, they made that phenomenal run back in 2010 when they were the 8th seed.
Yeah.
Wasn't as impressive this year. They
cut
were
it in half. They're the 4 seed.
They were the 4 seed. Sartorski came flying in after Bachman covered. He really wants the hat trick, apparently. And he went crashing down to the ice. We're going to get a penalty off of this.
There we are.
It's going to be Ackerson that goes to the box.
And that's, if that doesn't kill any hopes of a comeback, nothing will, as the Big Macs will spend 2 minutes of the final 5, at least potentially, unless they score. We're here with the man advantage. And time definitely not on the side of the Golden Tornado right now.
Yeah, you would have to think that unless there's some shorthanded magic, that'll probably do it. Coming up in the next game, a guy that knows a thing or two about shorthanded magic, Connor Quinn. He had a shorthanded overtime game winner in the semifinals.
Against Freeport, yeah, last year. Oh, no, sorry, that's right, talking about this year.
Yep, the semifinals this year. Far side, they score. What a pass. Canon-Mac makes it 4-0, a power play goal, and that should ice it. Great passing, tic-tac-toe, and then right there is number 9, Jack Clendaniel on the doorstep, his first goal of the postseason.
Tonkovic, I think, will get an assist on this. Yes, he will. The secondary assist.
12:16 the time of the goal. The penalty on Ackelson was a cross-check. Canon-Mac. That'll do it. Just the second power play tonight for the Big Macs.
Yeah, both teams got 2 chances so far.
Clendaniel overall, just his 8th goal in the season. Much more of a passer is Jack Clendaniel. He had 27 assists in the regular season, just 7 goals. Scott. And lost control of it, came to the near side. Campbell will chase it back. So Tonkovic will get the lone assist.
I thought, the replay showed he was the secondary on that. Pretty sure they'll have to add one later. Nonetheless.
Tonkovic, his second point of the night. He has a goal and an assist. Now bringing it ahead, McCall throws one on a backhand to the front of the net. Putting the glove on it is Hartnett. 4-0 is the score. Canon-Mac, they're going to do it.
You know, Josh, you talk about Butler. You know, we USC programs that build from, you know, a losing record to 500 to a playoff team.
Just a great turnaround.
And to get here, I know, even though they're going to walk out of here, looks like being shut out. I mean, still 4:12 to go, but look, they knocked off the defending state champs and the defending national champs to get here. Butler made leaps and bounds and big strides forward this year. They should walk out here tonight feeling like they belonged on this ice, that they earned their spot here, and that they should come back next year hungry to try and do it again.
You know, it wasn't a case in a team that, you know, got lucky on the way through. They beat 2 very good teams by playing their style, which is a tight checking defensive sort of game and relying a lot on your goaltender. And, you know, they were able to get here to this stage, and they certainly belong. I think there's no doubt about it. I think that Patrick Hammonds has just done a phenomenal job with this program, turning this team around. What a great year that they have had, taking over for Mike Genter, who left after 1 season a year ago. And they have just built this team back into prominence, and their first trip ever here. I think we'll see Butler back sooner than later.
I think we will. Stories like the Butler program are why it's so fun for us to do this from year to year. You can follow the progression of programs like this as they build and build and build, and here they are.
I'm looking at a very deep bench over there, too. A lot of guys sitting on that bench. Big hit back behind the play.
As Bachman had already covered the puck in front, and the man getting dumped. Lavella.
Lavella got slammed to the ice. Well, that's one thing you don't want to see. If I'm an official here, I'm just giving a penalty
Just
for
to
that
give
late
one.
hit. Yeah. Just so everybody knows that's not going to go.
Yeah, that
on.
was fair, taking him down.
Yeah,
He
there's no
dumped him.
need for that. Yeah, no need for that.
He wanted
Fair.
to make sure he put him on the ice.
This is good by the officials here. This is good. They are going to go ahead and give the penalty to Fair. I don't think they initially called it, but I think once they conferred and said, you know what, we got to take control of this right now.
Yeah, there's still 4 minutes left. That's an eternity when things start to get chippy like that.
Right.
So great work indeed by the officials to call that penalty on Fair. You know, it's funny, the initial bump, right as Bachman covered it, wasn't bad. It was the little 2 or 3 bumps after it to make sure he hit the ice that I think is why you call the penalty there.
Second penalty on Jonathan Fair tonight.
And it's a frustration penalty by Fair, but it's still a penalty.
Yep. Fair on the season led the team with 40 penalty minutes. Canon-Mac, they are 1 for 2 on the man advantage, their third chance so far. Gebhard with it, left it off to Smiley. Smiley, a slap shot from the near side, was blockered aside. And a drive back on, came out into the slot off a leg of a defender. Now right side, this is Christian Stewart. A couple players battling, and again, the extracurriculars are going to result in, I think, matching penalties.
I was going to say, I think you're going to see 2 go in here. So it'll still be a power play for the Big Macs.
We're going to come at 13-42. Those two still jawing.
Yep. Oh, they're jawing big time. And I think Canon-Mac is telling him, scoreboard, buddy, scoreboard.
Well, if I'm Patrick Hammonds, too, I'm telling my guys, you know what? You're not going to win this game. Let's go out with a little bit of dignity, though. As it's Scott that goes. And Gebhardt as well.
And look who's on the ice for Canon-Mac, number 17.
He's going to try his hardest to get another goal here.
Oh, they're going to try their hardest to get it for him, I have no doubt. Still a $1.12 to work with for the Big Macs.
Coleman slain behind the net. Both are roughing calls, coincidental minors, so nothing will be altered as far as the amount of men on the ice. Clendaniel now in the right circle, drifts in, centered one, had Slane crashing into the slot, but it went just past his blade. We only had 3 penalties the entire way during the first 2 periods. Already 4 so far here, including now 3 roughing calls.
Oh, really, since the 4th Canon-Mac goals where things got more physical as Butler, again, the frustration kind of set in. They started taking some liberties out there. And
yeah. There's a shot to the net. Went just wide. I believe that's Lavella. Of course, he was the one that got hit kind of hard to the ice. He'd like to have one. Good shot on from the left circle. Blocked aside. Rebound attempt went just high. Well, it was Clendaniel over there looking for another, and a high stick on the puck will bring a stop to play as Fair will come out of the box when 1 more second ticks off the clock. Again, up next, it'll be the Class A Championship. You can watch that one on the MSA Sports Network, MSASports.net, as Sean Myers and Lou Rude will have the call. Quaker Valley and Mars.
coming up, scheduled for 9:30, although in case of the time it is, you're probably looking closer to 10 p.m., but still, within the hour, we expect to be ready to drop the puck on Class A.
2 minutes to play in the AAA Championship. Campbell off the draw. Big blast from the left point, went just wide. Far side of the ice. Christian Stewart will dump one out. A couple of big hits on the far side. Man lost his balance for Butler. Went down hard, did Rogers. I think the number one thing here, and maybe during that last break, Patrick Hammonds was saying, you know what, if you're going to go out with a loss, go out with like I said earlier, a little bit of dignity.
Yeah.
Don't do anything that's going to embarrass yourself. We're going to get a penalty for just that type of thing back behind the play. I believe, is that Ackelson? It is. So number 16, Brendan Ackelson, will go to the box, a high sticking call.
Yeah, that's...
Could have been a high stick. It was really a slash, though.
Canon-Mac will get their 4th power play chance, 1 for 3 on the night.
Nicholson frustrated.
And now the coaches jawing back and forth a little bit, I think.
And Terry Virtue and Patrick Hammond, some of the assistants in there as well. And I think they didn't like that. You see that from time to time. Tonkovic crosses one, and with a minute left in this game, really, I think everyone's just hoping the last minute expires and nothing else happens here.
I just hope Sartoski's out there right now.
Slane with it, the left point, crosses to the near side. That one will go up and out of play. Scott will come back onto the ice for Butler, as will Gebhardt.
45.4 to go. And of course, you know, Canon-Mac won their gold in 2010, so fully 5 years removed. Some of these kids on this team would have been, you know, maybe in the junior high ranks at that time, but nobody obviously from the 2010 team playing on the 2015 team. So this is brand new to all these kids. And we talked to Austin Tonkovic about it a little bit. What he remembered about that group was just how hard they worked. That was what a lot of people talked about when he was coming up through the program, is how hard that team worked, and something that he hoped his guys would emulate tonight. And I think they have. They got some blue-collar goals tonight.
Tonkovic brings in the left wing in front to Slane. And Slane couldn't finish, and then Bachman sort of tossed him to the ice, getting him out of the crease. I'm okay with that, though. Tonkovic now winds up. Big slap shot, glove save made by Bachman with 29.8 to go. And I think that maybe was what Terry Virtue was saying. I think that was potentially his argument with the coaching staff of Butler, saying, you know what, we still have another game to play. I don't want my kids getting hurt in general. I'm guessing is what he was saying. You need to tell your kids to stop taking cheap shots behind the play. And that's exactly what that play was, by Ackelson. It was a cheap shot. It was well behind the play. He took his stick and two-handed it into a guy's midsection. Got called a high sticking. Should have been a slash or a spearing call. But regardless, there's a shot by Gebhardt from the high point. Goes over to Mansman on the far side. 20 seconds to go. Morgan now with it. Morgan circling behind the cage, waiting with 10 seconds to play. Comes behind the net on the backhand rebound attempt as Slane got it over to Mansman. 5 seconds to go. Time is going to run out. And for the second time in school history, the Big Macs are champions. Canon-McMillan wins AAA for the second time and first since 2010. They mobbed their goaltender, Connor Hartnett, who has not given up a goal in quite a while.
Quite a while indeed.
It will be a streak of 114 minutes to end the PIHL season for Connor Hartnett. An unbelievable run for the goalie of Canon-Mac. A guy that I think at times this year maybe was a bit overshadowed by some of the skaters. What an amazing end as Canon-Mac will move on. They will face Holy Ghost Prep next Saturday at Pagula Ice Arena in State College. We'll take a break. We come back. We'll bring you the postgame show here on the MSA Sports Network as Canon-Mac wins it 4-0 over the Butler Golden Tornado.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
Want to learn how to ice skate or play hockey like they do in the PIHL? Looking for a good place to throw that winter birthday party? If you answered yes, Blade Runners is the place to go for public or private skating sessions, plus learn to skate and learn to play hockey classes. And don't forget to check out PIHL game action at their 2 locations in Harmarville and Warrendale. For more information on ice time, class and game schedules, or party planning, visit their website at www.bladerunnersice.com. See you at the rink.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf. The new home for the PIHL in 2014-2015 is the MSA Sports Network. Not only can you listen to audio broadcasts of high school hockey games online like in years past, but this year MSA Sports will be video streaming 25 games live and archived during the regular season with exclusive coverage of the 2015 Penguin Cup playoffs. Your audio and video home of the PIHL is the MSA Sports Network.
The captain, Austin Tonkovich, holds the Penguins Cup. The lone senior, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Must be on this team. Typically, they have the seniors hold the cup, and then the rest of the team joins. So this Canon-McMillan team will be pretty good next year, too, as they take down Butler 4-0. The Big Mac swarm Tonkovich at center ice, and they'll celebrate their second Penguins Cup in school history. Let's take a look at the Blade Runner scoring summary from this one. Brought to you by Blade Runners in 2 locations at Harmarville and Warrendale. Austin Tonkovich, he got us going 13-16. He scored early. It was just a wicked wrist shot off a great pass from Luke Lavella on the near side wall. Got it across. Tonkovich got it, wristed one, sniped it home. It was 1-0 Canon-Mac after one shots with 10-7. To the second period we go, and that's when a guy by the name of Austin Zartorsky would take over. He had scored 4 goals all season. He scores 2 in 10 seconds as he gets the first one off assist from Brad Foligno and Josh Miller, a rebound off of Foligno's shot. He's able to poke it home, and that would make it 2-0 Canon-Mac. But off the face-off at center ice, he would dump it in. Zach Mansman would go in, apply some pressure. The puck would come out, and right there was Zartorsky, picks it up, puts it in over the right shoulder of the goaltender in Bachman. That made it 3-0 at that point. 2 goals in a matter of 10 seconds. We would play that way until the 12-16 mark, and then on the power play, it would be Jack Clendaniel who would get his first goal of the playoffs on the doorstep on the far side, putting one home. That would make it 4-0. So penalties to finish out the game. Final shots 21-19 in favor of Canon-Mac as they skate around with the Penguins Cup in front of their student section and their fans as they do it yet again. Canon-Mac, they made that great run a few years ago, and here they are again as the 4 seed, and certainly it's not as dramatic, I don't think, or as big of a deal as when they did it as an 8 seed, but as a 4 seed to do it, that's pretty special, and especially when you had all season long 2 top teams like you had with NA and Peters.
With it.
NA and Peters. You know, it's a pretty special thing they did this season. By the way, that was your Blade Runner scoring summary brought to you by Blade Runners in 2 locations at Harmarville and Warrendale. Mount Lebanon Ice Arena play of the game, and I think I have this one set. I think it's the second goal by Zartorsky. He got the one. It was surprising, but then to come right back down the ice and to get another quick one, boy, that really, I think, was an absolute crusher of a goal for Butler and a big one for Zartorsky and this Canon-Mac team.
Well, the individual effort by him, getting his own dump in. How often do you see that from, I don't care how talented or untalented the kid is, how often do you see that happen in any game, but especially on this stage? I mean, he was excited about getting the first goal, and he came out with a jump. Nobody was ready for him, and he came in there and finished off that second goal within 10 seconds and make it 3-0, and really a backbreaker as it turned out. For the Big Macs, for sure.
Final order of business, the MSA Sports 3 stars of the game. The number 3 star tonight is Austin Tonkovich. He scored what turned out to be the game-winning goal at 13-16 of the opening period. He also had an assist as well on the Jack Clendaniel power play goal to make it 4-0. The number 2 star, Connor Hartnett, 19 saves tonight. He has been just tremendous of late. He ends his PIHL season. He'll carry this over into the state championship game next week. But he ends with 114 straight minutes of shutout hockey. And the number one star, of course, Austin Zartorski, scores 2 goals in the game in a matter of 10 seconds. He is your number one star of your MSA Sports 3 stars of the game. Someone just got asked to prom down there.
Hey, he's held up the sign.
He said, Sarah, will you go to prom?
Yeah, Sarah, my goal, prom with you. And I think the reaction was a positive one from the crowd. So.
Baller move, no doubt about it.
Baller move for sure.
That'll do it. Final thoughts, Adam?
Well, I just want to point out, I liked what I saw on the handshake line. I saw some Butler kids go out of their way after the line to go talk to a couple of the Canon-McMillan and some of the cheap stuff there late. And the coaches had a long powwow at center ice as they shook hands, and I think kind of buried the hatchet. Look, I think everything that happened in the game was understandable up to the coincidental minors. I think that last cheap shot afterwards was really got egregious on Butler's part. And even right at the end, right when time expired, I think it was Davis took a kid into the boards for a Canon-McMillan kid there right as time expired. He was holding him back from going to celebrate with his teammates. So definitely some very chippy stuff. You understand the frustration from Butler, but at some point the kids have to just understand and rein it in a little bit. But I liked what I saw at the end. I thought they made a point to kind of apologize for some of it there at the end. So I like that. And again, Butler belongs here. I think this program, we're still going to hear from them. I like what Coach Hartnett has done. And for Canon-McMillan, it's their second in 5 years. It may not be a dynasty, but it's a program that definitely has been among the elite in AAA over that span, even when they haven't been winning cups, Josh. So I expect more from them, and I think they're going to be a tough out in the state final, no doubt about that.
Yep, absolutely. That'll do it for us. Up next, the Single A Championship, Quaker Valley and Mars. It'll be Sean Myers and Lou Rude on the call of that one. You can watch that at msasports.net as well. Thanks to everybody here, Don Rebel, Mike Kazadian, who worked hard on the camera throughout the course of the game, and everybody working, Mark Schoss writing articles, and everybody involved in the PIHL, Jim Black, Dave Fryer.
Yeah.
Everybody certainly a tip of the cap to them on hosting a great event here tonight. Still one more to go, so make sure you tune in for the Class A Championship. For Adam Hoerner, I'm Josh Rowntree saying so long. Final score tonight, Canon-McMillan wins it, their second title in school history, first since 2010. They take down the Butler Golden Tornado by a final score of 4-0. And you heard it right here, as always, only on the MSA Sports Network.
The 2015 PIHL Penguins Cup High School Hockey Playoffs at MSAsports.net have been sponsored by the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena, by Blade Runners, by S-Mark, by First Commonwealth Bank, by Carlow University, by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Progress, and by Management Science Associates. Follow the PIHL Penguin Cup playoffs all the way through the state championships by logging on every day to www.msasports.net. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of the Management Science Associates Sports Network.